Are you implying I have come here to surrender the fort?
Have you not come to surrender the fort? It is possible that my telescope has deceived me. Your earthworks resist our cannon better than we expected.
As to that, I say nothing.
You know our forts?
Our accounts vary. The highest, however, has not exceeded 20,000.
Colonel Monroe had some 2,300 men. One man in 10 is sick or wounded.
On my orders, the very dead would fill the breach.
Monsieur, this is no occasion for rhetoric.
I use none. If you enter at all, you will enter over ramparts of dead.
Colonel, I know that you will never forget that you're a soldier. But have you not forgotten that you are a father? I understand your daughters are within the fort.
That is true. But far from weakening our efforts, they have shown us an example in courage, where resolution all that were needed to defy you, sir. I would gladly entrust the defense of the fort to my elder daughter.
Monsieur, we French have a wise ordinance in our Salic laws. The crown of France shall never descend lance to the distaff.
No doubt the Maid of Orleans approved of that law.
Colonel, Maid of Orleans was burnt alive by the English soldiers. I would like to remind you that courage has its limits, and that humanity must not be forgotten. I should be sorry to see the defense of the fort protracted in a manner as to irritate my red friends here. Even now, I find it difficult to limit them to the usages of war.
I am more than aware of that fact.
Then why are you here, sir? Major Hayward would have served if your answer is no. It would be enough that you and I should meet in the breach.
I come to treat.
To treat? General Webb has ordered you to surrender, and you come to discuss terms with me?
General Webb's orders made no mention of terms.
On that we are agreed.
I will obey General Webb's orders. I shall surrender the fort on my terms.
It is necessary that in the interest of my royal master, the fort should be destroyed. But as for yourself and your brave comrades, there is no privilege dear to a soldier that shall be denied.
Our colors?
Carry them to England and show them to your king.
Our arms?
You use them well. Keep them.
The march? The surrender of the fort?
In a manner consistent with the honor of the commanding officer and the gallantry of his garrison.
On these terms, I surrender the fort to the forces under your command.
I accept it on behalf of my king.
Sir, I have lived in my old age to see two things I never thought I should behold. An English officer too afraid to help a friend, and a French officer too honest to profit by this advantage. Monsieur Maréchal de Camp.
Magua speaks.
General Montcalm listens. Does Renard Siptil speak for all?
Our Canadian father has buried the hatchet with the English enemy.
The hatchet is buried, yes. Is that all?
Not a warrior has a scalp. And our Canadian father makes friends. What shall a Huron chief do when he returns to his wigwams? What shall he say to his braves?
Why such an excess of zeal? How many suns have set since Magua has fought for the English?
Where is that sun? Behind the hill. It is cold and dark. But when it comes again, it will be warm and bright. The fox is the son of his tribe. There have been clouds and many mountains between him and his nation. Now he shines, and it is a clear sky.
That you have power with your own people, I know. For it is only yesterday you hunted for their scalps, and today they hear you at their council fire.
Magua is a great chief. We have conquered, but there is to be no taking of scalps. The fort is taken, but those within are not to die. The pale-faced chief dishonors the red man. I am ashamed. Before my people, we are all ashamed. The very squaws will spit.
I dare say it's their habit.
Why did the pale-faced chief come into the woods and fire his cannon at the English fort?
To drive the English away. This we have done. They've consented to go. They are enemies no longer.
Because they run away.
They do not run away. They go in order. And the hatchet is buried.
Honor. The pale-faced chief talks of honor. Magua took the hatchet to cover it with blood. When it is red, it will be buried. And that is Magua's honor. To that I am pledged before all my people. To that we are all pledged.
Magua is pledged not to sully the lilies of France. Friends of France are friends of the Hurons. Tell that in your tents.
The wounds of Hawkeye are almost healed.
I ain't ready for paradise yet.
Hawkeye is going back to the home of his fathers?
No, Uncas. Paradise is a name the preachers have given to the spirit home of the white men. When we die, if our life has been pleasing in the eyes of God, our spirit is taken by angels to paradise.
It is the hunting grounds of the white man.
Well, not quite, Chingachgook. The preachers say it's a place of rest. Though for myself, being a man of motion and having a fondness for the chase, I hope it's not going to be too restful.
Okay. This place of paradise, is it also called heaven?
That's right, Uncas. It's called heaven.
I heard the dark-haired daughter of the white chief Munro speak of it. She told the light-haired one, all people go there in death, be their skin white or red.
The pale-face seeks to rule the red man even in death.
I do not think that was the meaning of her words, Father.
The spirit of the red man goes to the hunting grounds of the red man.
Chingachgook. I got work for Uncas.
What would Hawkeye have my son do?
I've a mind to know what's going on in the French camp.
Uncas will go.
I will return.
A cloud has come between us, Sagamore.
Chingachgook was angry. It is not always easy to understand the ways and sayings of the paleface.
I get that trouble myself sometimes. Let us be friends in confusion. One day we may be brothers in understanding.
Yes, I understand. You'd like Major Hayward to escort you when we leave the fort, but I'm afraid you cannot have Duncan. You see, it is his duty to ride with me at the head of the column. The surrender of a fort is a very formal occasion, and in the circumstances, the forms must be observed punctiliously.
Yes, quite, Father. We did assume that the surgeon would be our escort.
Oh, Mr. O'Brien will be with the sick and wounded.
So shall we, Father.
No, you will take a lady's place in the column mounted among officers.
I shall walk. All the spare horses are needed for the sick wagons. There are men who cannot walk. They must ride.
Cora Monroe, you have been disrupted from the very first day you arrived. I will not have it. My daughters should know their place, and my elder daughter should not encourage her sister in impropriety.
Father,
I know my place.
Glad to hear it, Alice.
It is with Cora and the wounded.
The surgeon has his duties. He cannot tend the sick and act as an escort for ladies.
David will be an escort.
The Samadist, a decent enough fellow in his way, but scarcely a suitable escort for my daughters.
He was one of the brave men who helped to bring us here safely.
All right, walk. But do not come to me complaining about your feet when we get to Fort Edward.
Hawkeye's troubled.
You mean you ain't?
'Tis true. The earth is still. The air does not move.
Not a creature, on foot or on wing. The signs tell us there ain't no storm coming. Why then do they keep to their holes and burrows?
Hawkeye knows as I do. All storms do not come from the hand of the Great Spirit.
No. Chingachgook reads the mind of Hawkeye.
Our Canadian father honors the Hurons.
What is this, Magma?
The Hurons honor their Canadian father.
This honors me.
This is a dance to celebrate victory. The enemies of our great father are fallen.
A victory dance. Is that all?
Magua has told the Hurons. It is known in the tents as the great father required we have a victory. The hatchet is buried. Was the great father satisfied? Aonte curri! Trama!
Speak, Uncas.
The fort is surrendered to the French. It is true the general has ordered the surrender. They are free to go with honor.
At what hour do they leave the fort?
They are leaving now. But last night, I saw Magua lead the dance of war.
Leave off, will you? Leave off!
Let her be!
In God's name, give him the shawl!
Foes of treacherous intent, and from the sons of violence, no punish
You come with Magua! Leave them, you stupid devil! Fools are suffered to. You go with Magua. The wigwam of the Huron is open. It is safer. The dark hair will go to Magua's tribe.
Never!
If your daughters are here, Hawkeye and the Mohicans will find them.
I've seen many a hellish sight, Chingachgook. Never the hand of the devil as plain as it's to be seen here.
The Hurons will not boast of this to their scores. They bring shame on the heads of all red men. Before the winds of autumn have blown away the smell of the blood, they will pay.
The preachers say that a time must come when all deeds done in the flesh shall be seen at a single look, and my eyes cleared of mortal infirmities. Woe betide Montcalm when he's called upon to behold this field of blood and the judgment hanging over his soul.